Our next speaker is Sonia Lang. Now, Sonia has had a 20-year-long successful career in investment banking. And Sonia's joining BGI Talks to share with us what she believes has underpinned much of her success, not just in banking, but also in her mental and physical life. Sonia's earned a reputation for being able to influence with integrity, and her personal story this evening promises to show us much more of that. Welcome to BGI, Sonia Lang.
I'm here to talk to you today about what happens when you make a conscious decision to say yes to what is important to you. Everything starts from knowing what you want, saying yes to it, and then a great clarity and energy to action it comes from that. The power of saying yes to what you decided that is important to you. Sounds simple, right? But ask so many people, and you will discover that making decisions isn't that easy. Having the cake and eat it? Yeah. If it would be an option, well, I would love to have both too. Yet, great things do happen when we make a conscious decision to say yes to what is important to us. Let me give you an example. I still remember when I made the conscious decision about my job. I was with a friend of mine and her boyfriend. So clearly we were very young. We didn't have husbands or partners yet. It was her boyfriend. So we were on a ski trip in Austria. Günther, okay, a very German name, right? He explained to me his job, an options trader. I asked, what are options? And he explained, and I was asking many questions. Or, well, as my mom always said, most people's first word is mom. Some people's first word is dad. Your first word was why. So despite so many whys already answered, I went out, bought my first book on options. And I still remember, I was only halfway through the book with all the math and all the financial market stuff. I was hooked. I made the conscious decision to become an option trader myself. Little did I know about it back then. It was the 1990s. What I decided on, it was a male-dominated environment. Whoops! Did I forget I'm a lady? Certainly not. I just didn't even see that there was a divider, a line. In fact, I was one of 4 women amongst these thousands of men. But hey, it didn't matter. I made the conscious decision, and after that, everything else is detail. So off I went, wrote my thesis on option, became an interbank option trader, and all the rest is history. Make a conscious decision to say yes to what is important to you. Yet, this is not only important in a business context. This is true in life as a whole. So I consciously decided to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Kilimanjaro is almost 6,000 meters high, 5,895 meters to be precise. The highest mountain in Africa, temperatures ranging from plus 20 to minus 25 degrees Celsius in a single day. The oxygen level is only 50%. So this is like having only one lung and climbing a mountain. Hence, most people who die on Kilimanjaro die on acute mountain sickness, or commonly known as altitude sickness. Now, how could someone make such a decision, like someone with a sane mind, as a conscious decision? Let me tell you why. for my beloved mom. You know, the one with the annoying daughter always going, why? She raised me from when I was very little to believe in my own convictions and to make them happen, which she for herself expressed as, where there is a will, there is a way. And I believed her. Then in 2008, she was diagnosed with lung cancer. She went through chemo and all this. A lot of people unfortunately know of someone who had it to go through it. The worst thing as a relative in this situation is this being so helpless. There was nothing I could do for her. Or could I? How could I support her? When she had a 4 weeks treatment break, and I knew she would be okay, right? If I wanted my mom to stay committed to herself and climb her personal mountain with her lung cancer, I wanted to remind mom and lead by example. I should do something similar. Climbing Kilimanjaro with only 50% oxygen levels. This conscious decision came as I wanted my mom to stay committed to her personal affirmation, where there is a will, there is a way. And once I made that conscious decision, I was like a steam engine running up that mountain. So I decided to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. After all, I had 4 weeks. So what would your first point of action be? First, I started by building a website to inspire my mom to build awareness and raise money for cancer research. Second, I went out and bought all the gear needed, like hiking boots and clothes and a sleeping bag to minus 25 degrees. And then third action, I started training for the hike. I took a personal trainer and she knew me previously and that I had, well, at least once upon a time, had stamina. She was there to train and obviously to motivate me. Yet, you know when someone's words tell you one thing, yet their face tells you something completely different, right? Even in the last of our 4 sessions, that is what I call a rigorous preparation. So, without actually doing it, she went like, obviously thinking, she's never gonna make it. Then my 4th action, fly there, get from sea level to 6,000 and back down. All in 4 weeks. Easy. Or it was objectively a challenge. I arrived at 8 p.m. and started at 6 a.m. to do the climb. From a previous trip through South America, I knew what this altitude sickness feels like. And then it was only 4,200 meters. Now, this time I came prepared. I had medicines. Some people really think there is a pill for everything. On summit day, waking up at midnight for a 16 hours long day to the summit. There it was again. Altitude sickness. And I had another 1,200 meters to go higher to reach the summit at almost 6,000 meters. I had told my guide about the why for this trip, so he knew I had consciously decided I couldn't give up. I had to make summit. After all, I wasn't doing this for me, right? Even so, he would have been obliged to bring me down as I had altitude sickness. Yet, he helped me. He encouraged me. He took my day pack and he even sang for me to lift my spirits. Yet, it was really rough. I quickly got to the thought of, can I die here? Or can I take one more step and just die there? Yet, I made the conscious decision and I wanted to show my mom she can't give up. So giving up was not an option. Indeed, we made it. wearing my mom's hat, the one she wore as she had lost her hair due to the chemo. Me recording a message for her. I consciously made the decision to get to this peak. I consciously made the decision to get up there for my mom. And I did. My mom had almost 1 more year. And she was touched and inspired, not only by me climbing Kilimanjaro, but by all the people who donated on her behalf and all those who shared their own personal stories. Now she felt not alone anymore, and she was indeed inspired. Now, to be honest with you, after all this very practical example of business and my very, very personal example with my mom and Kilimanjaro, the latter cannot be topped. Still, I can give you another example of when making a conscious decision and saying yes to what was important to me had a profound impact on my life. As you already know, I was an option trader. Later on, I headed up product sales for 5 countries. But as you can tell, between professional and personal experiences, a lot has shaped my thinking. And with it, a shift in what was important to me. So in 2012, I had made another conscious decision. I decided to quit my job. On my last ever corporate holiday traveling through Myanmar, I had the best time and the best conversations. As one meets people on travel, the first question is, what's your name? Easy. Second question, where are you from? Already tricky, as I'm German, but I had lived 15 years in London at the time. And then the third question was really tough for me. What do you do for business? What is your job? So I started with, well, I'm in banking, but I will leave in 3 weeks' time. Oh, so you're going to leave banking? But what are you going to do next? What are your plans? The answers were typically along the lines like, you leave such a career? Or some made it short and sweet. Are you nuts? And there, it was really strange, particularly for someone like me, who likes her plans. Even so, I didn't know what I would do next. I was really calm and confident. Yet for me, I really didn't need to worry about what I was going to do next, because I know once I consciously decided to what is important to me and what I want, I can make it happen. And in case if you are one of those who would like to know what I consciously decided and then did do, I went to India, to an ashram, going through a monk-like training. The training was a challenge and a joy, all at the same time. 5:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. and 7 days a week. Who needs a break or a weekend when you love what you do, right? So for 21 weeks in a row, and all the phenomenal experiences I had in the ashram. They are stories for another day. It is only now that I'm at this stage in my life that I look back and I saw that I always had this phenomenal ability to have clarity, focus, and released energy to reach my goals. I also realize this is a superpower available to all of us. When we consciously decide, and I mean really consciously decide what is important to us, we will be connected to our unique resources and abilities to make it happen. What could you consciously decide on today? Thank you.